Okay.
We are live. Yep.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us, for watching us. This is a shortly presentation on Metaverse's comparison. And we are a study group for ArcDAO, and today we are here with Mayur, me, Barbara, Shri, Jonathan, Kabir, and Palak, and we're going to talk a little about what are metaverses, what they have in particular in each one of them, and we will go through some demonstrations, and in the end talk about opportunities for architects. All right, so for a brief start, if we think about metaverse, we usually think about 3D virtual worlds. We know that supporters of Metaverse are touting it as the next iteration of the internet, which belongs to no one and everyone at the same time. But although we understand that, it's hard to understand what are the boundaries of it. So we know that Metaverse is a theme that's been around in futurism and science fiction for a while. And we also know some practical examples like the Metaverse from Facebook recently, the Horizon Metaverse. And we know that it also touches virtual reality, augmented reality. We know that there are decentralized games. Everybody's heard about NFTs. We know that there are some cryptocurrencies going on in this. And we also have heard about someone who has been in a concert or a party in the metaverse. So, okay, what is it exactly? It's all this, but what is it? Very shortly, if we look at the history of this term, like about the name metaverse, we know that in 1992, it was the first time that this word appeared in a novel called The Snow Crash from a sci-fi writer. And it was like used to describe a 3D virtual space with avatars and people using these avatars to interact. Probably the most famous first game virtual world was Second Life, which came live in 2003, and everybody's heard about Metaverse. At least most people we know heard about it in 2021 when Facebook shifted their business for Metaverse plan, even changing the name of the company. But of course, in the middle of all this, from 92 to 21, in the next slide, we have a more detailed history line. So in this middle time, we know that Roblox, for example, which is one of the metaverse game platforms that are the most famous that exist today, was launched in 2006. And also we know that Bitcoin, which is also crypto, is also one of the main parts of metaverse possibilities, was first appeared and created in 2009. And there were a lot of different interactions around this subject from the first time it appeared until now, where we are now. But most of them were this type of games like Pokemon Go, Roblox we talked about. The Fortnite is also a platform that came live in 2017. So many of these different platforms appeared through these last years, but it's not all, it's not everything. Probably the biggest part of the hype around Metaverse is because of its full potential, not exactly one or other of these examples that we brought here in this history perspective. In the next slide, we have these 7 layers of the metaverse. These 7 layers were first explained and brought by a gamer executive, which is called John Radoff. I don't know if you've heard about his company, which is called Beamable. He broke the metaverse down into 7 different layers. A metaverse can either have one or more or all of these layers, which are experience, discovery, creator economy, spatial computing, decentralization, human interface, and infrastructure. And there are many solutions today available. Most of them touch some of them. At least I don't know anyone. Maybe there are one that touches everything, like have all of the 7 layers. But for example, the first thing we think are mostly the experience part, like games, shopping, NFT, sports. These are just experience. But creators economy, for example, which is probably the part that are touching our profession the most, is also one important layer of the metaverse. If it creates an environment that allows for people to create assets and become a healthy environment, like everybody can create their own assets, and it establish this wealthy game or social interaction space, or whatever type of space this is going to be, it gets richer, if we talk about decentralization as well, so many of the metaverses today are not decentralized. And the idea is that eventually one day there will be a possibility to have a connection between all these metaverses, and we will have a big omniverse. Okay, but everything, even though we know this little stuff, everything is still under development and uncertain. Everything is up to discovery, and our profession is one that can take most advantage, big advantages of this new environment and this new possibility, and also can contribute a lot to create the opportunities of this next big thing online. In the next, we have a comparison slide. Mayur, I think you can explain a little bit better.
Awesome. That was a great explanation about the history of metaverse. So you might have, as Bobby mentioned, there's Roblox and there's like various other metaverse popping up. But how do you map it between like the development? So in this chart, you can see like hi-fi is like high fidelity and lo-fi is low fidelity. So you see Cryptovoxel, X Infinity in open and low fidelity, which means like Cryptovoxel has like very voxel, Minecrafty metaverse, which is low, and it's open, like it's blockchain based. And then on the left is Minecraft, which is like closed metaverse. Similarly, if you in the chart above, you see metaverses, which is very high detail in graphics. So depending on your end use case, depending on what you want to achieve, you select the metaverse for your use case. So let me walk through some of the key metaverses and like what are the resources you can use to get started. So maybe you can see the Cryptovoxel screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So Cryptovoxel is open, low fidelity metaverse. And as you can see, what are the key elements of this metaverse? One is land ownership, assets creation, uh, wearable, and there is a marketplace for you to buy wearable. So every metaverse has a map where this is the urban planning grid of metaverse. So here you can see for Cryptovoxel, there are like various programs here, and various uh, parcel size associated with it. And you might know, like, how do you know who owns what? So all this ownership is tied to NFT. So if I try here, Cryptovoxels, oops. Mm, If like this is one sample where this parcel is being sold for this much of property. And if you see all the details, this contract is associated with Cryptovoxel, and this is the token ID, and this is ERC 721, and this is the history. And once you buy this NFT, it will automatically reflect in your like the with the wallet address you bought. If you sign up using that wallet address here, uh, so I am being added as contributor to two of the parcels. So with this wallet address, so it shows up here. These are the two parcels I can edit, and shows area. These are the coordinates on the map, which neighborhood, and like various other parameters. And also this metaverse has zoning laws, like how high you can build, what's the extent, and stuff like that. And it's very easy to get started. So I will just show you, like, we do modeling all the time, and you can select um, starting place. um, and the UI is pretty simple, where this is like voxel, so you can
You
start with
have
like
to own a land to be able to do it, or like you have been assigned to one land like a contributor? You have to have that in order to start?
that's a great question. So what we are doing here, we are doing crypto voxel spaces where you don't need to own a land. Anyone can create the spaces, anyone can decide the sizes. So I think that's a good question, that even if, let's say, you don't own a land, lands are expensive, but you want to show your client that like your portfolio in this metaverse, you can build bunch of spaces and show the experience to the client, that this is how like a museum or art gallery looks like. So it costs nothing to like showcase the experience, play with the texture. There is also various interactive elements. So this is what which makes metaverse a bit different skill set for architects. We are not just doing 3D modeling, texturing here. Like, we are defining like experience where I can say, if I click on this button, I can write like a JavaScript code, move the cube from here to there, or change the color, open the door, like such kind of simple experience. So that gamification, UI UX skill is an added skill we need to learn in order to create experiences which are sustainable and long lasting, so that people can visit the space. So no cost to create this spaces experience. The only thing you can't create here is baking of lighting, and it only if you own a parcel, or if you are a contributor, you can edit the parcel. So the way it works is, you you have a same, like, if you want to, you create the spaces, you do experiment. If once you like it, client like it, you can import the spaces into the main map if you own it. So very easy to integrate. But if you want to learn and get started, it's a good way. Even you can create like you can import vox models here. So um, yeah, small vox model where you can with a URL or something, you can uh, import it. So a very common tool is Magica Voxel, where you can do quick modeling. Even let's say you have an architectural model, you can have that OBJ object import into the Magica Voxel, and it will voxelize it, and you can import it here. Or even Blender has extensions which allows you to create your model. So there are a lot of possibilities where you can use your existing assets in this metaverses. You just need to like find a smarter workflow instead of reinventing everything from scratch. But there's a very short learning time to start creating the metaverse. Cryptovoxel is one of the reason it's very popular is it's very easy for an artist to create assets here. It is also usable on mobile. So if you share the space, you can share the URL and you can open it on your phone or iPad. So it's accessible in that way where anyone can be part of this. So yeah, this is like for grouping various app elements. Even you can have like NFT gated access here. So play with the texture, and these are like animation effect you can import here. Sliders. So I created like very small experiment where like I made like a parametric staircase using this slider input and scripting. And yeah, if it's a big Vox file, you can also import this. So there are various restriction, and we did a workshop where we went into detail for this. And a lot of common use cases is like artists hosting events in this metaverse. So they do live stream where people in metaverse can attend this, but also they do like NFT gated access, or where people who hold that artist NFT can only view this space. So there are various ways people are uh, using Cryptovoxel events.
If you want to deploy this space, like for live interaction, you have to own a land.
Uh, so like I can do live interaction in this, like in this space, I like test space. So I don't need to like own a parcel to do this. So I can easily create, okay, when I click on this button, move the cube up. So even if I don't own a land, I can do this kind of interactions or experiments.
Okay, I can be there with you, like with two avatars. That's
Yeah,
the
so
idea.
yeah, those are the thing you can like I can share you the URL of my space and you can experience this. So if I share this link, yeah, if I share this link, even you can view my spaces. So you can share this with your client and like show them the potential you can create. So yeah, but like multiplayer, I'm not sure, but yeah. So one of the thing is, let's say you can play at space level, but also you can play at objects level, where if you are good in small graphic or small objects, you can create in Magica Voxel and start selling those as NFT collection, where people can use these objects in this metaverse. So you can see, let's just check how much price is it. Okay, this one is $8, but they are selling 100 units. So if let's say I own a land and I don't want to create this headphone from scratch, or I don't have time, I can buy this as NFT and I can easily integrate in my parcel. So or like, or if like, I don't know if this is like a player NFT or object NFT, but also there are people who create like wearables, where like shirt for the player or hat for the player. So there are various ways you can use your current skill set and deploy it in this. So
Do you know if these items can also have some kind of gamification built inside of them, or are they only static 3D models?
yeah, so these are static .vox format model. The way you add interaction is in the spaces. I don't know if I can show. Oops. So this is like a basic elevator which I made on grouping, where it moves up, and the way this works is okay. These are like basic animation. Maybe I can. Oops. Ah, okay. So let me see if I added any scripting here. It has been a while. Yeah, so you can add like various script like part to each element, where okay, if I click, change the player position, give me the position, or do some interaction. So even if let's say you create any variable, you can create interaction that if a player or a user comes with my NFT variable, I give them a special welcome message, or like treat them differently than a general user. So you can like code like such kind of specific experiences for your community. So it's all JavaScript. So the sky is the limit how we can do. One of the experiment is like I made like a API where depending on the temperature or time of the day, the color of the texture changes, or like it's sunny or snowy. Like, so you can have like even metaverse have like real time element, or you can even like, since we don't have to play at the same scale, you can have like sun go from east to west in 1 hour rather than 24 hours. Like you can accelerate that too. Cool. Let's go to the second metaverse, which is Decentraland. Uh, this is in the map you see like, oops, it's like on the middle. It's not very high, but not very low, because the texture it has is like not photorealistic, but not voxelized, but it's like semi-cartoonish and stuff. So again, you buy the land. Um, one really good fact about Decentraland I like is you can download this software development package, but also they have an online. So few metaverses have online builder like Cryptovoxel, and so if I want to create a land in Decentraland, let's say, ooh, man, depending on the parcel size you own, uh, you need to select your scene accordingly. Let's say we own 1 by 1. Uh, there are some assets you can use from the template. Uh, and yeah, I'll talk the checkered marks. This is how it brings on. Also, this very easy publish and share, so you can share the URL. But one thing I wanted to share is you can also import your let's say Rhino Rabbit. If you convert into GLB, GLTF model, scale it, whatever you want to do. And the best part about this is you can build online, but also you can write code in Visual Studio. I'll get into it soon. But so see, these are the assets. Okay, there are some assets. I just want to move. So we imported this apple, uh, which doesn't have like star marked element, and there are like certain things called smart items. I think this is what? Okay, they don't have a filter. Like, okay, yeah, this is a filter for smart items where I can write interaction of like, so in Cryptovoxel we were using JavaScript for interaction. Here they have built-in smart items. So let's say uh, when this is activated, like let's say if I click on this, maybe uh, let me get one another smart item. Man, uh, let's say when I trigger this for the police car, activate this, uh, and this is our scene. Okay, I don't know if you can hear the interaction. Let me get another element which is more evident. Okay.
is it possible as well to create your own smart elements, or
Yeah.
only play with the ones already written? Okay.
Yeah, so in order to create your own smart element, you need to download that package, and then in Visual, like whatever like code platform, in you need to define like various events. Let's say you have a architecture 3D model, then you can create various events. So for example, this one has um, go to end, like this to event, or like go to end, return to start. Okay. So you need to define like what are the events I want with my smart item, and then you can upload it as a smart item. Uh, I'll show even that part. Okay, so this is activated by default, but what we can do is auto start no, and if I click on this mixture, then activate my horizontal circular. Yeah. So see, like you can then create this kind of dynamic experiences with smart items. So this is like using existing smart items, but what if you want to create your own smart item or event? So you need to check the SDK, and there are like one good workshop on YouTube you can find where you need to install like a node package of Decentraland, and then when you start a scene, it will ask whether you want to create a whole new scene or whether you want to create like a smart item. So depending on what you see, click, it will help. So this is like a basic way you define a scene. So they have like engine system. I don't want to go deep into that, but whatever scene you have, this is like a very good example. So here they are saying, define a cube, spawn it at this location, and this is calling this function where it's creating entity shape, and then when I click on it, create another cube at this random position. So this is how, like, when I start the scene, okay, this is not the right render for that, but it will populate a cube for that. So this we did locally on our laptop from just the code by using this package. So either you can do online or create your own local host Decentraland scene. And this gets very interesting because now I can like do much more complex thing, which uh, it was difficult to do it in crypto, like Cryptovoxel, which I can do here, where I can say, oh, display an NFT, so I can like give Ethereum address here, or also I can say I have created a space in Decentraland, and I can open a particular room only if I hold, let's say, 10 ArchiDAO token or 100, let's say, Ethereum or something. So you can write those kind of requirements too. And what else? Like, yeah, so this is the smart items, and this documentation provides way how can you create your own smart items. So you see like there are, when you create a smart item, there's a particular structure. You need actions like, okay, open, close, toggle. So what we saw in the builder here, this is how with code you can interact or define your own. So you can make quite cool things. And then there's also like multiplayer thing you can do with message bus, where let's say you want to make a leadership board, and a like who I don't know, like what a good would be a good, like every time I come to a space and if I finish one, let's say grasshopper script, I get 2 points reward, and I can make a leadership board of everyone who came to the space, home and home, uh, how many people completed the task, and that all database, like data goes to the database, and from the database I call it in one item in Decentraland and show all the scoring. So yeah, dude, should I like keep go more deeper, or should I like I'm not sure if this is going too much technical, or this is because we want this to be very high level. So okay, I'll just speak 1 or 2 more minutes. So uh these are like event listeners. So one thing I'm currently experimenting is, let's say, creating like a physical digital bridge where if someone enters in the metaverse, I have IoT devices where say, okay, there are 4 people in the metaverse, and in the digital LED, it says those player. And also, if you connect Microsoft, like connect with some very basic computer vision algorithm, I can also have a camera in a space which sees how many people are there, how far are there from the camera, and then replicate an avatar in the metaverse that, okay, whenever there are like 4 people, pop up some virtual items, and if they're moving, also move in the metaverse. So like your metaverse avatar is interacting with some physical people replica in the metaverse. So I don't know, like still yet to do some very seamless bridge, but like you can create like a seamless multiple reality identity from physical, virtual, and like digital. So sky's the limit. And another thing is we were kind of working like NFTs, or like NFT gated unlock. Let's say if you hold an NFT, you can access physical spaces with the like a NFT like credit card or debit card. So there are those things you can do like physical digital bridge. Cool. So we got to know like this is like basic land manager. These are parcels. We saw same to uh, Decentraland, and you might hear also DAO. So Decentraland operates on a DAO. So they're using Snapshot for making various proposals where community says we want to develop this feature on Decentraland platform. And if most of the DAO like token holders votes on that, then Decentraland develops that feature. Also, one thing was I found like, so there were like people who names themselves when you enter the Decentraland. So there were few names which were being banned by the DAO, that no one should use like very offensive name in as their bio or main profile. So even like those kind of decisions were made by the community, approved by the DAO. So uh, that's one thing. Third major is Sandbox. So Sandbox is like uh, giving wings to Crypotovoxels with more gamification uh, aspect. So last time, like I used the beta version. Recently, they got like the alpha version. So it has like 2 components, like create assets, create gamification. So you use like Vox Edit, similar to Magica Voxel, where you can, yeah, this is lo-fi open metaverse like category. So you create voxelized model, and then if you want the parcel, you can import there. Uh, but this they don't have any online builder as Cryptovoxel has, so you need to download this to software to create. But things get interesting because in VoxEdit you can add like various animations. Also, the NFT like animator feature is very cool, where I can say if if I like if someone does this, uh do a wave sign on the like do a wave sign on the model. If someone does this, do another. Like similar to kind of a smart item feature, you can do this for Vox models using the animator uh, feature. And then once you get all of your assets and start building in um, the main scene. So in order to uh, develop the main scene, you need game maker software. And I really like, so they're trying to build like a no code gaming for metaverse. So once you get your assets in the scene, then uh, you can make various quests. So let's say you want to develop a future online university. You can create various quests that, okay, you finish this tutorial, it gives you 100 points, which gives access to level 2. So, and you can have like enemies which comes towards the player and you do like fighting and stuff. So it's very easy to create those kind of um, uh, gamification aspect. But also, since this is no code, uh, you got to play with all the features they have developed. So if you are coming from Unity, Unreal background, you know the possibilities of creating complex interactions in a game. So you might not be very happy with all the interactions they have by default, but for a lot of future creators who want to make simple games or simple metaverse interaction, this is good. And that brings to the fourth major metaverse. Where is it? Somnium space. So this is high fidelity, very photorealistic graphic, but also it has Unity package. And the best part is um, now you can use all the complex game interaction features you could use in Unity and bring it to your own like metaverse platform. So if you are like hard on like developing like dynamic experiences quest and you have a Unity experience, I think you like Somnium space and you need parcel. I personally haven't experimented with this, but if you also want to create like a VR experiences, uh, Somnium space, I have heard people recommending this for that. So various platforms have different learning rate, different possibilities. And let's say you just want, I have this Revit model, I want to organize event online. What's the simplest way to get started? So I think Mona uh, is a platform where you can build a space, upload your GLTF model. They don't charge. So all the four metaverses I mentioned before, you need to have parcel. And there are pros and cons because what people are speculating is in Decentraland or like in all these metaverses, many people are coming to attend various events. And because you have parcel, a lot of these people might discover your place and accidentally attend the events you're organizing, and you can convert those numbers for community development, product marketing, or stuff like that. So in Mona, you don't have that universal metaverse. You create your own space, and based on what you sell, you get commission. The platform gets commission. The thing is, you share the URL, and uh, there's like a explorer platform like this. So you need to scroll and explore various places. So the amount of people visiting the whole metaverse is different here, where you are just going and like, let's say this gets starts getting very popular, and your parcel is not on the top. uh, the new random user might not even explore your place. So you uh, everything comes at a cost. So no parcel cost, but lesser possible new users coming to the space. And this is very like this is easy for architects where you can upload your models. And I think Tim Ong is an architect. Uh, this is the model he shared. And Mona is also focused on getting a lot of architects on their metaverse spaces. So they have like built-in. So you also need to check this. Don't quote me on this, but I think Mona has like 250 MB or 350 MB model size maximum upload limit. So yeah, check that before like you develop everything. So one thing to keep in mind. And another is, okay, thought I logged in. Yeah, another thing is spatial, where it's very easy to create like a VR avatar or meetings in the spatial. I think those are the covered this. And if you have any other metaverse you wanna discuss or talk, we can cover it in the next session because I'm just checking time and I got to hurry up. All right. Uh, now like we want this session to be as like back and forth and discussion part of this whole study group. So we mentioned briefly the opportunities architects have, like either you create your own spaces, give second life to all the studio models, all the creative designs you had which couldn't got built, and give them life in the metaverse, create NFT, create variables, host client spaces, develop your own portfolio on this metaverses. So there are many low hanging fruits you can develop, and then think the the way you can get clients is like going to the Discord of this metaverses. There are people asking that we have land, we need artists to create some experience, and then you can DM them, okay, I'm you have the background, you can create model. And currently there is like a shortage of this space creators, so it's a very good time for you to get those opportunities and like develop a whole new avenue of your skill set, your businesses, etc., etc. This is from the Crypotovoxel workshop we did, where the client was very happy with the way architects approach and design the spaces. So they gave like design brief. They had 3 parcels in Cryptovoxel, and they gave us various constraints. So in 2 weeks, the participants develop ideas and then various features, like various experiences for those constraints, and that was very successful. So there's a big opportunity out there for us in the metaverse, in NFT space. Bobby, you would like to add?
Yeah, actually, I would like to ask if, let's say you've never done anything related to metaverses. So the very first suggestion would be pick up a model that you already have and try to place it inside these alternative metaverses that we saw, at least to try to learn. And after that, if you get something cool out of it, if you learn a lot with it, you would suggest that we would try to find someone, if let's say if we want to make money with it, if we want to work with it, the suggestion would be try to find client in one of these discords, or in one of the marketplaces. What do you think it's the easiest way to start?
Yeah. So at an Akida workshops, no, I think first is like as an architect ourselves, we need to know what are the things you can do in a particular metaverse platform, because you don't want to go to a client, say, we'll develop this, and then you promise something which you can't deliver in that space. So understand your strength. Like, are you really good in model sculpting? Are you really good in scripting or experience creations? Or what about the UI UX study? Like, maybe you might need other people, if your core strength is, like, say, in creating experiences and modeling, you can collaborate with some people who can do scripting, and you both can work together to create something very unique. Because a lot of clients, when we talk, first question is like, we want to do something very unique in the metaverse, very innovative. So and like we see more and more people asking that. So how to create that innovative experience? Just is just like 3D model which looks really cool gonna help us achieve that, or are there any additional interactions or scripting which uh, current metaverse platform are not using it to the level which we think we can bring on? What's your USP? And once you play with a platform for, let's say, 2 to 4 weeks, you know the possibilities, and then you can start approaching client in the Discord. There are also like um, many metaverse hackathons happening, so you can participate and work with others and learn. Recently, then we hosted a buildathon where people shared their architecture models, uploaded them, and they are giving like prize money for shortlisted designs. So yeah, what's your goal? Do you just want to host events in your current Revit Rhino model, or you want to create something very unique in your models where you want to add interaction which you were not able to add in Rhino Revit? Like, what are some new things you can do with your models in Metaverse which your current design process doesn't allow? I think maybe you can use, let's say, Mona to present next time to your client for your current architectural project, that why don't we both have a walkthrough together in the space, or why don't the client share it with their community, the same model? So
Yeah, could it be a platform for mass customization, maybe? Like,
yeah, maybe, yeah, if you can develop a space where if you have, let's say, a couple of design options, and you show those design options to the community and get vote from them. This could be another way of participatory design, that how can we modify the spaces based on what community likes or community want.
we,
uh,
we did not mention any AR or VR in these examples. Do you know if these metaverses support the type of technology, or is it like a different level of, like a different layer of programming?
yeah, so Somnium Space supports VR, and mm,
Yeah, remember you talk about it in Somian.
yeah, but like AR, like if you have 3D model, you can just like place that 3D model in AR. Like here you might require like a very unity based, like what are the interactions, what are the markers, and like there are various other packages. But to your
Is
point, like I haven't seen like very AR focused metaverse yet.
is there, as far as you know, any digital twin, like, of the world metaverse already?
Yeah, actually, yeah, there's one like Worldverse which I was explaining. Like or anyone in the audience, if they know, like feel free to jump in. So they are creating like a digital twin of, so we saw in Cryptovoxels we had a map which is like square grid map. So they are creating Earth as a map. So there's like single identity of one model can exist at one geolocation. That's the way they're approaching. I forgot what was but like then totally forgot the name. What is it? Yeah, I can share it later on the YouTube.
Super world, maybe.
Super. Can check this one. Yeah, there is also a real estate based metaverse which we didn't call, like Upland, where you can, let's say, buy real estate in Chicago or other places, and this super world, yeah.
There are so many. Do you have a personal opinion on what's gonna happen next? Like, will all the spaces be connected through bridges, or do you think most of them are gonna die and just one or two are gonna be massive?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of interesting people working on this. So like model interoperability will be key. Like what you own in let's say Roblox, you can use that character in Cryptovoxel, but also in Decentraland. So like I know what meta-humans. Yeah, right. So for Avatar, Ready Player One, uh, these guys are focusing on interoperable avatar across various platforms, and this group is focusing on like model interoperability. What are the 3D model requirements of the future, which that model can work across various metaverses, and you can reuse it. So working with GLTF, USDC. I don't know the latest update, but this is a group to check out. I don't know, like I'm not in any way any expert in metaverse, so I can't see like this is gonna be important. This is how it's gonna be future. I'm just understanding, researching on what are the various trends, preparing by exploring this various platform. What are the possibilities with it? So when we get client based on their requirements and intention, we can recommend which metaverse platform will work for them. Yeah.
But it seems that we are very far from that big 3D internet, right? Like in the more holistic way of saying, it's more like separated and split.
I would say like I attended a conference recently where they showed like people who like marketplaces who were selling uh 3D models instead of like 2D like images. They had higher conversion rate, and like people are already moving from 2D to 3D on first on website level, and then it's gonna more go on like interconnected websites. So it's the trend is already started. I think I forgot like Google's like there was one Google's like extension or something which it started with some S, like where you can easily embed like 3D models on any website using that. Dude, I need to be better at remembering names.
There is a lot. It's very new.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There, even last meeting we had with a client, he suggested 3 new metaverses we haven't heard about, and it seems like these things keep coming, like in a very rapid pace. Even we were thinking of building our own metaverse, so it's hard to keep up, right?
Yeah, hopefully we just need time. So like for context who are listening, we were thinking, why not? So what Mona was doing is creating, helping you host a space in for your 3D model. And what we thought is, why not we create like a world scene using like 3JS and created a template where whatever uh, 3D model you have, you can upload in the scene and host your events. Like, because Mona will take your platform commission if you have your own website and you upload your 3D model and have like various meetings and interaction. Uh, like, you own your own like platform data, everything associated with it. So we were brainstorming, can we create like a website template where anyone can upload model, anyone can organize events, have like an basic metaverse integration, which makes it accessible for anyone to do that. So using like 3JS, you can create very interesting things and idea. So you can
How
create your
how,
own city like this. I don't know.
how does Mona profit from these spaces? Do you know?
So
Is it too technical?
I think so. They are allowing minting as well. So if you mint something, uh, they get a commission. So open, it's the same way OpenSea, like they, I think they get like 5% something for all the mints. So uh, that is one way they are earning money. It has been a while. Okay,
But
you can purchase. Yeah, they're commission based. Like you can, for all the purchase you make, like let's say you create an asset, you sold it for $100, and if they're taking 5% commission, they earn $5. So maybe for this market way.
like maybe like influencers in YouTube and Instagram, maybe in a while we could see these platforms making money of content creation. I think the thing, like, let's say if you have 100 people going around your space to see what you're showing today, is it something that could be possible, like people creating content in 3D spaces, through 3D spaces, and getting interaction with it and making money with it?
Yeah, like there could be like potential for that, where like if if you're holding, let's say, an event, let's say architecture event, and you know there are like people coming, then there could be like architectural job openings you can display in your billboard in the metaverse, and then you can monetize on those ads. Or like there are various, like community will give you a lot of power. So uh you, you can use that. I just found, yeah, I was not sure, like, so Mona allows minting of the spaces, so like they get commission from uh, like these are the gas fees and stuff like that. Yeah, if there is a platform, they need to make money, because like it's a lot of models to host. So
Sure. Us as well. So that's why all my questions are, okay, how can we make money with this? How can we sell it for someone? How is this going to be in the future? Like, is it does it make sense to imagine that maybe one or a few metaverse platforms could take the place of maybe Instagram, for example? Or is it doesn't make sense because 3D creation it takes too much time? What is your personal feeling? And
and
the rest of you guys as well. Is
yeah, like
someone wants to add?
everyone can jump in. Like this is supposed to be like a disc. So I think like every social media has like some, like this is my personal benefit, has some period of like full attention, and then people move like Facebook to Instagram to TikTok or Snapchat. Like, so there could be a metaverse platform where it's so good that I can see Instagram like feed, or I can read news and article. And if most of people are hanging out on that platform, it's another switch where then you don't need to go back. If I have a university on metaverse and I'm spending 5 hours a day on it, and also there's a area where I can see my social feed or something, I won't go back to other website. And I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe I'm
and this
too
is power.
optimistic
Yeah,
here.
maybe, but Mark seems to to feel that way as well.
Yeah, like, yeah, some people are very bullish, some people are bearish. So make your own research and do your own decisions. So uh what do you guys think? I would like to know opinion from people in the call. Thoughts, feedback. Gonna go ahead, Kabir.
Uh, I would like to ponder about the idea of virtual real estate. Is it a bubble or does it have some future? Will this idea get to the mainstream? What do you think?
Yeah, like I would like to personally know your thoughts, since you're also doing a lot of research. Like, what do you think?
Well, personally, I don't think it will get to the mainstream as it causes a blockage for people to, for creative people especially. Like we have Mona, and when we have alternatives that are free, then why would someone pay? And it is like actually like in social media, or we are creating a website, so we buy a domain. Okay, so it can be like that also. And obviously if this gets to the mainstream, the value of the real estate, virtual real estate, will depend on the attention it have,
Hmm.
the how famous that space is. So I have some mixed thoughts about it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, like, ultimately, like if it's a marketing, if people can sell more products uh in that space, like they care. Like, uh so Decentraland, let's say they have very high uh virtual real estate. The platform will do its best to have incentives to attract a lot of new people in the space. So they create like music events or various events. So when more people come, there's more benefit to all the virtual real estate owners. There's more conversion into products or like whatever they want to do. So it could be like, as you said, like I can create my own standalone, like I can host my own 3D model. Like nothing is stopping me. Like there's not even need of metaverse for it. But what's my goal? Is the goal just to serve my current community and like events, or is my also goal to expand my community? If I want to expand my community, uh is there any metaverse which serves well? Is there any platform where I can find like-minded people? And that's where you make those decisions. Is it make sense to buy space in Mona, or does it make sense to buy space in Decentraland, or does it make sense just to create my own website and have events? So depending on your end goal, like it's same, like you can attend a music event by going to this venue, pay $200, or you can also watch that video on YouTube of the same event. But like, what is the experience that metaverse is claiming? Because some of these metaverses are working for a long time, and they might be researching and figuring out like how to keep player more engaged, how to gamify a bit. Maybe that part is lacking. If we create our own standalone metaverse on our website, people might just get into the space and they get bored and they never come back. But this platform might be providing something which keeps their player engaged. Or if you stay more in the metaverse, you're earning $10 every day, which my own metaverse can't afford. But like that might create more incentive. So I I, I don't have a concrete answer, but there are like pros and cons of each thing. But like it even doesn't make sense to pay CryptoPunk for such high fee, because now you can say there are so many other NFT. But it's the scarcity, it's the community which holds like value is also very subjective. Community creates the value. So sorry, Bobby.
Sure, no problem. I was remembering this research I saw the other day that with 1,000 people in the US and 49% of the participants did not even know what the metaverse was. So it shows a lot of potential to still grow somehow, even though the people who are aware of what it is don't feel to understand exactly what it is because it's not clear, right? So it's probably up to the creators around it to explore the opportunities and make it worth for the real estate maybe, or for any other type of engagement in the community and any other industry. But the potential is there. It's just not clear, right? It seems like a hype today, a very big hype.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking like technology promises to have abundance, reduce lack of resources or scarcity. So like we have currently, not even like future, current technology where we can create our own metaverses. Then I was thinking like now anyone can create their own token, but then we have Bitcoin, which is very high, and you have new tokens where I can create, Bobby can create. Like who decides the value? Like I think maybe that's not the right analogy, but like anyone can create their own tokens, but some tokens have very, so anyone can create their own metaverse or land. If you develop a community which can like really create or some innovation and value around it, you don't need this other metaverse platform maybe.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking with one of our clients, with Crypto Baristas client, is that people will join whatever the space or the platform it is if they get knowledge or money. And these are both things that we should look for maybe in these metaverses or crypto tokens. If they have a very good and healthy community, an engaged community, and what is their tokenomics, if it seems sustainable, if it has a meaning to exist, and from this perspective, maybe the whole metaverses also can be read by this point of view, like is there a community engaged in this metaverse? Does it make sense to create your own miniverse aside? If your perspective is only to share your own 3D models, that's okay. But if you want it to grow, maybe it would be better to be around the strongest community. And if there's a proposal for tokenomics, if there's a way for people to create a creator's economy and a user's economy, that seems like where the growth might go, right? Instead of only all those popping, like all those tokens that are coming around with nothing related or very unsustainable, that's probably going to die, everything, all of them. But if you see like a token that has a very strong community and a real life purpose, and it seems to have a tokenomics that makes sense, it can stand, right? Even though we have Bitcoin, because there's going to be space for it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking one on the analogy. So you can have your website where you can upload your photos. Let's say you're a photographer, like for personal, or you can go to Instagram and upload your photos. Since there are a lot of friends and community or like a lot of people around it, you go to Instagram. Same for TikTok. Like a lot of people moved from Facebook to Instagram because like the world was shifting and they want to keep the social. So if there's a particular metaverse where all of your friends are going and you're creating your own metaverses, would you hang most of the time in your metaverse, or you go to ones where your friend is on another parcel, you are on another parcel, you accidentally bump into each other? Could be. But also I like the fact, like sometimes on Instagram story, you have the option of sharing on Facebook or sharing on other places. So we want that interoperability, that if I do something on, if I buy a variable in metaverse A, I can use the same variable on maybe metaverse C, D, E, and carry my credibility in all this. Okay. I know it's like 1 hour, 20 minutes. So let's
Yeah.
get some thoughts from Jonathan and Shri.
Okay, so I was thinking, like now we have our like ID cards, like voter ID or Aadhaar card or some passports. So maybe, what do you think in future we'll have some avatar card or something like that where we have a specific avatar verification kind of thing coming in future. Like if we go to different metaverses, we have the same um, avatar or something.
Yeah, I think like it's up to you. Like you can have multiple identities. So let's say you have a Shri playful avatar which you use in Decentraland, and then you have Shri business avatar you use in Crypotovoxels. So or you can remain anonymous and just attend this event. So I think uh it's like you can have one identity, or you can have multiple identities, or you can have anonymous identity, which creates very interesting dynamic where people can be what they can. Let's say having one particular ID gives you restraint to one particular party, or like I don't know. Okay, I don't know what's the best way to put this out, but blockchain is helping you to live the version and allowing you to choose the version which you want. I don't know if I answered that question properly, like one single universal identity or multiple identity. But like I think what I am trying to say is people, it could be you can have multiple, or you can have one. It's got, you will be the making decisions rather than I make decision. Let's have one universal ID for everyone.
Okay.
Jonathan, would you like to share any concluding thoughts? Maybe you're muted in case you're speaking. You can have like a discussion, like what are you guys interested to cover in the next session? Let's do some brainstorming.
What if we would do like brainstorm on specific use of metaverse, let's say an industry